The achievement gap. The achievement gap is the observed gap of the educational measure between the performances of groups of students. When talking about the achievement gap, many people correlate its growth to socioeconomic status. However, many fail to realize the significant impact that gender can contribute to academic performance among students. Gender is one of the many demographics that can affect achievement measures. What role does gender play in the achievement gap? Well, it's no secret that society perceives boys and girls in different manners, and it has for quite a while now. Throughout history, men have been perceived as the superior gender in terms of intellect. As you may recall, textbooks always seem to mention the notable male figures throughout history, but tend to gloss over the women who made notable contributions. While we have made a significant amount of growth over these past few centuries and have begun to recognize the accomplishments of all genders, these preconceived notions still exist. Males are often subconsciously expected to be more cognitively gifted than females from an early age, and continue to be viewed as the more successful gender, especially career-wise. For instance, when we think about a person in a significant job position such as a doctor, a majority of the people picture a man. Although many don't often realize it, society continues to believe that boys and girls have different capabilities. Now, in order to understand how gender plays a role in the achievement gap in schools, we first have to address the stereotypes and preconceived notions that both teachers and students develop outside of the school environment. These stereotypes that both the educators and children may hold are often acquired in cultural, social, and/or home settings. Ethnicity, parents, and religion are factors that may contribute to the development of these stereotypes outside of school. Here are some of the significant stereotypes that can be noted. Boys are often perceived as more competitive and masculine in their efforts, while girls are expected to be more social and talkative. Girls are believed to be more in tune with their emotions, but can also be perceived as more emotional in comparison to boys, who tend to be viewed as more controlling in this aspect. Furthermore, while boys are expected to be more aggressive and competitive in class, they are not viewed as behaviorally adept as girls are. As you can most likely tell, while these are all stereotypes, they can hold both positive and negative values and may in turn affect academic results in class due to the way in which they are perceived. While all of the stereotypes listed may or may not be present among the boys and girls in the classroom, there continue to be preconceived notions that plague the different genders and have significant impact on academic success and failures. Two ways we can view the effects of these gender stereotypes are through the perspective of students and the perspective of the teacher. Through a student's perspective, gender-based preconceptions of a child's self may impact whether they perceive their abilities on a certain academic subject to be adequate or not. This means that a gender bias among children may influence the academic decisions that may be based on what they believe is expected of them as a male or female. For instance, boys may underachieve because they don't feel as if engaging in the classroom is masculine enough. Furthermore, boys are expected to be more competitive amongst each other, so teaching methods that highlight academic achievement may turn out to be more beneficial to them than they are to girls. So while they may have the ability to participate in all avenues of the classroom, they may choose what they do and do not do in order to better fit in with their male peers, despite the effect that this may have on their academic success. Additionally, children presume their classmates to have specific abilities based on whether the classmate is male or female. They may affect certain activities such as group work and may cause tension and/or a lack of trust among those who are required to work together. Situations such as this one may cause the tension to steer away from the academic aspect of the activity and may in turn affect academic results through a teacher's perspective. While as educators, we are required to provide all students with classroom environment in which they all have an equal chance of succeeding. It is possible that stereotypes may affect the way in which we view our students. Unfortunately, teachers may set a different set of expectations for a student depending on their gender. Setting different expectations for students based on information that cannot be backed up by research or formal informal assessments can have a drastic impact on the academic achievement of said students. Let's look at the impact that gender can have on specific content areas, such as mathematics and language arts. These are two areas in which there is a significant amount of gender impact on academic success and failure. Math. One of the most significant achievement gaps during elementary school years for boys and girls is in the subject of mathematics. A mathematics achievement gap between girls and boys grows as much as the black and white gap, from the beginning of kindergarten all the way to third grade, which gives a perspective as to how detrimental gender stereotypes can be. Teachers hold a greater amount of positive views in mathematics capacity for boys than they do for girls. In general, teachers believe that boys are better in math than girls. It is also believed that boys do not have to try as hard in order to do well. Therefore, teachers often expect girls to work harder in order to achieve academic success in mathematics. This goes back to the different expectations that teachers may have for the different genders. In order to receive the desired results, girls may need to work harder in order to be perceived as mathematically adept within the classroom. Reading and writing. The opposite can be seen in language arts. Girls are perceived to be more successful in reading and writing tasks. Female students are believed to appreciate reading, language, and communication skills at a greater level than their male counterparts. This again can have a large impact on academic success and failure. Teachers may automatically assume that female students will naturally do better in this subject area, while males will need to work harder in order to succeed. Furthermore, students in either of these two areas may believe they are or not capable of succeeding due to the preconceived notions they may hold or encounter. Addressing this issue. It is extremely clear that this is an issue that may be affecting countless students in the classroom right now, but what is there to do? The simplest way to start combating this issue is to address it among educators. Teachers may simply not be aware of the gender bias that they may have. Therefore, it is important to address this issue and talk about it. Make yourself and your peers aware that this is something that needs to be thought about more. Are we allowing all students to succeed? Am I asking more from one group of students or the other? Make an effort to think about this issue and the impact it may have in the classroom. While it is difficult to address that one may hold stereotypes or preconceived notions, addressing this issue among early educators may contribute to the lessening of the achievement gap among genders and may further allow students the opportunity to succeed.